All right. Welcome back with QR code here. And Razor on this side,
And I'm Q somewhere down here,
and and
and
we and we have a
special
special
guest.
guest.
Ben.
We have a very special guest with us, Ben.
And he
Gonna say,
means that
Ingredients.
too. He
you
said
want to
like
say,
James Brown.
you know,
Eminem.
and you want to say hi to the folks, Ben?
Hello, everybody. I'm here for the opposing viewpoint tonight, but we'll still be friends at the end.
Okay. Well,
Baby.
let's not be too hasty. We'll see about that. Okay. Well, as we come off of two losses, which I'm going to call it a loss and a half because I'm going to count the loss to the Lions. The Lions are the best team, or arguably one of the best teams in the NFC, and we fought them tooth and nail, but they came out victorious. Um, the second game we lost to the NFL referees, and that one I'm gonna count that as half a loss because I'm sorry if you cannot officiate a game better than that. The one team doesn't have any, and I'm not one to blame the refs, but come on. I mean, the final play, the face mask, if all of those third downs with the phantom calls, okay, fine. But the face mask, if you didn't see that, if you didn't notice that Sam Darnold's head was at 180 degrees turned around, and for some reason, the guy that grabbed it, I forget the guy's name, who grabbed him, immediately went to his helmet like, "Oh no, I can't believe I did that!" And his teammates are dragging him off like, "Yo, they didn't see it, man. They didn't see it. You're cool. Get off the field." But be that as it may, we're 5-2, which is a lot higher than I predicted, a lot higher than I expected, and I'm happy that we're 5-2. I'm not crazy about how we got there, but that being said, we've earned enough favor in the eyes of the NFL that they've flexed us into a primetime game against the Indianapolis Colts, who we
Ooh.
have a little bit of recent history with.
Yeah.
So, that
Oh,
being
oh
said,
yeah.
yeah,
I forgot all about that.
how did you forget all about that? How did you forget all about that? Yeah. That
My
being said,
bad.
mhm, I'm gonna be a good host, and I'm gonna give the floor to Ben to tell us what he thinks about the upcoming game.
Well, in the last 3 days, it's gone from it's going to be fun to watch to what the hell is management doing on for my team to I don't care anymore. Let's go out and play some football.
You're ready for some football,
Yeah. So
and your starting quarterback is Joe Flacco.
it's Joe Flacco.
Is
And
that the
and that's not the worst part of the week. The worst part of the week is the amount of players that have come out and said they heard about the quarterback switch through social media.
Oh my God, really? I
Yeah.
didn't hear
Whoa.
that. I didn't hear about that.
I didn't either.
So
And
Shane
I
then,
Steichen is on his way out, is what you're saying.
no, I think Ballard's on his way out.
Oh, okay.
hey
Yeah.
Ben, share something. We were talking about something the other day, and you shared something about the play that where he tapped out. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that was a very interesting take, given there's a substance. Yeah, they're doing a quarterback switch, and well, I don't know. Share with us. Let us know what you're
I
thinking.
am going to preface this by I am not in any way condoning him pulling himself out of the game for whatever reason. But
Really?
yeah, after watching the replay a few times, the play before he fell, when he went down, the football hit him in the gut. If he had just stood up and said, "Hey, the ball knocked, I got the wind knocked out of me.
Yeah,
I needed a minute." Okay,
lie a little.
not I was tired.
And I lie a little. I don't know. I'm an old man. I'm 64. So I'm from the generation where, you rub some dirt on it, you you stand up and you go to the next play. I don't know whether this is a Gen X Gen or Gen Y, Gen Z thing where you have to be 100% honest about your feelings, but I certainly would have told the coach, I've been running around a little and I'm tired, so I'm going to just take a break here. I don't know if you guys have seen that commercial. I think it's for Haribo Bears or something like that with the
Oh
two
yeah,
football
yeah,
players on the sideline.
yeah.
He goes, I'm just going to sit this one out. It's like, are you kidding me? Did he run that past the offensive linemen who, to my knowledge, were on the field with him running around and they were
Yeah, but
probably trying to
what I think Ben said was in that play, he may have actually knocked it. He may have knocked the, and that's one of those things that you need to play off when that happens. But if you've never had it happen in your life, how do you explain it? Yeah, how do you explain it?
Say that though.
But he doesn't know if it's not happened to him. I can't make an excuse for him. Only he knows in his mind. Shoot, he could have just been tired. I don't know, but sometimes there's a word that you can't use for it, but having this little bit of knowledge or having this possibility thing going on, man, it still could have been a bad thing to make a quarterback switch. Yeah. But here's another side of that. He's kind of hot garbage.
It's been ugly. And Steichen did come out this week and said, we made the quarterback switch just to take him out of the limelight for a while. Keep him out of the spotlight. Let him collect himself. He will be back at some point. Not this year.
Oh, not this year. Yeah.
Not this year.
Yeah. Our first round draft pick. We want to keep him out of the limelight. Yeah. That's a little difficult. Mm-hmm.
And I think they remembered after he said he was tired to the media. Mm-hmm. I think they remembered that he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
And not very mature.
No, that I don't understand, because one of the things I've always hated about the media interviewing athletes is nobody ever says it. I mean, okay, so you catch a wide receiver. Well, we're going to be out there. Their defense is good. They got a lot of great players. They're a tough team. Nobody ever says, this guy's, he sucks. He's garbage. I could run over him. I don't even know why he's on the field with me. He can't carry my jockstrap. Nobody ever says that.
Except for Antonio Brown.
Exactly. Well, but I mean, it's like for him to come out and tell the media that, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the leader.
It was a classic case of immaturity.
It was. And so you decided.
Sometimes 'tis best remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
This is true.
Someday I will learn that.
Yes, we all will. Yeah. But the thing that surprised me even more is the fact that the Colts decided, yes, he's extremely immature. Who's the most mature guy we can find? We're going to put him in instead. So they called the nursing home.
Graduated high school the same year as Anthony Richardson's mom.
Oh my goodness!
You do.
Was he drafted in 2007? I believe it's like
6 or 7. One of them.
Okay, 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow, that's.
He played with Ray Lewis.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of these kids now they look at Ray Lewis like we looked at Jim Brown, like who?
Yeah,
that's how long ago Ray Lewis played, man. I'm like, I don't know.
I expect to see him sitting in the middle in that commercial with Randy Moss and Dan Marino. Let's unretire. Right? Let's unretire. Oh wait,
I'm looking up to see what year he was drafted.
Okay, yeah, I think it was 07, maybe. 07. I'm going to stick with. I'm going to go to over under 07. Great radio here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 07. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. One in a row for the man. One in a row.
He's a legend. Just ask him.
I was at that draft, so I know. It's like,
that was one of the drafts that the Vikings missed, right? Was that one of the ones?
No, we didn't. No.
Okay.
We didn't miss any drafts. We were we were at all of them. So just leave it at that. We were at all of them. We didn't miss any of them. We're not.
They blew their first round pick. That was when they blew the first round pick.
2 years in a row, the clock ran out. It was strategic. It was strategic. I'd rather not go into that.
Okay.
Again, I'm drinking already. So I didn't drink before I became a Vikings fan, by the way. So Yeah, and I've been
You
drinking
won't-
steadily ever since.
Were you
you,
about 12
you,
when you became a Vikings fan?
I was how old when I became a Viking
Were you,
fan?
you were about 10 or 12?
four.
Four, four,
Okay.
four, four,
Four. Yeah.
four,
I was
four.
12.
I started drinking when I was 25. So yeah. Mhm.
So you had a little bit of a gap there. Yeah.
A little bit of a gap, but trust me, I've caught up. You can't lose 9 NFC Championship games and just take that lying down. Okay, you
Right.
need a little lubrication.
And 4 Super Bowls.
Well, yes, that was
Um,
this has been the 9 NFC Championship games have been since the 4 Super Bowls. The ones we've lost have been
hey,
since those.
how many of the Colts won?
How many
Super
Super
Bowl?
Bowls?
Yeah,
3.
Okay, see that he right off the top of his head, he knows that.
they won 3 Super Bowls.
I'm sorry, they're in 3. They're 2
Three.
and 1.
They win 3. They won
Oh,
2.
okay, all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they're 2-1. They're 2 ahead of us. They're
Yeah.
2 ahead of us. Of course, they had Johnny Unitas at one point, so you know that.
But Unitas didn't play in that
Didn't
game.
No,
play.
he did not. No, he didn't.
You got
No,
him
he
there.
didn't.
Earl
But he didn't
Morrall.
play. Yeah.
Yes, he did. That's
Earl
right.
Morrall won that game.
That's right.
And that was
So
before I was born. So yeah.
that's before you were born. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm on with a couple
We'll
of
just leave. We'll
young
just leave it.
pups.
We'll just leave it at there.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
leave
with a
it.
couple of young pups here.
Yeah.
So, Q, your outlook on this game. Coming off these 2 losses, facing a team that had a 33-point lead on us at one point the last time we met. What say
Ouch.
you?
Ouch.
Well, this time I know that the Vikes they don't have the privilege of playing a team whose coach just came off his man cave sofa.
Literally.
So Shane Steichen's been around for a little bit, so they're coming to play. But man, there's a lot of stuff going on at the quarterback position. When we did our picks earlier in the season, I had said, "Hey, this is going to be a win, and this is going to be one of those B flow wins because they're going to throw a bunch of stuff at Anthony Richardson." Now the picture has changed a little bit. There's Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco's like 96.
94.
And what do you? Okay, my bad, 94. So, what do you think is going to happen when they start throwing stuff at a 94-year-old dude? And that was one of Flacco's things. Dude can move a little bit. Well, he's 38 now, 39. It might not. I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Yeah.
And a 2-game losing streak, and the Vikings. Now we went in this thing going, 9-8 or 7-10 or whatever. But as long as they're entertaining, we're happy. But these guys actually think they can win something. So I'm picking the Vikings to win this. And they'll probably win it by a touchdown or so. So let's say 10 points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm inclined to think that the last 2 games have gotten, and I did see B Flow's press conference, and he's always a laid back guy on the surface, but I know this bothers him. It hurts his ego to have lost these 2 games, even though the Lions are a good team. The Rams picked our defense apart. It made it look like Ed Donatel. I mean, there were no sacks on Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford is not a slouch. I mean, he's not a jag. This guy has a Super Bowl ring. But you got to
Ain't Michael Vick
get
either.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get to him at least once. And now we've lost Darrisaw, so we replaced him with the trade with Cam Robinson, which I'll discuss shortly. But I think that our defense has got to we've got to get an early start. We've got to get a fast start. We've got to get some points on the board. The bank is going to be loud. It always is. That's a loud building. Coming off 3 weeks that we haven't been home, the crowd's going to be there. It's going to be there for this team. It's going to be harder to rattle Joe Flacco than it would be to rattle Anthony Richardson. The crowd noise is not going to be a problem for Joe Flacco. He's been in high leverage games, obviously. But he's a statue. And we've got some young guys who can come after him. So they'll be looking for a lot of quick passes. And the Colts have a running game. They do have a running game. They're one of the best
Yeah,
running backs in the NFL. So it's not like he's got to stand back there, as they say, playing patty cake the way Sam Darnold tends to do and hold the ball for 5 seconds. That ball's going to be out of Flacco's hands. So we've got to counter with some scheme that gets to him quickly. I
how did you pick it at the beginning of the season?
what's that?
How did you pick the game at the beginning of the season?
I picked this as a win for us.
Okay.
I picked this as a win. I'm still picking it as a win because whether it's Richardson or Flacco, or I really don't care if it was Peyton Manning coming back. I don't think that the Vikings going to lose 3 in a row, and I certainly don't think that if they do, that third one will be at home.
Right.
I can't see that. I can't see that happening.
All right.
I
So-
think the key to this game,
Hmm?
the number one key to this game is the Colts offensive line.
That's
Last week was their worst game of the season.
Mhm.
If they straighten it out, we have a shot.
Okay.
If they don't, Flacco's going to spend a lot of time on his back.
well, you have one of the best, and I don't follow the Colts, but from what I understand, you have one of the best offensive lines in the league. Is that true?
For most of the time.
Yeah. And that they were playing in front of. I'm going to be nice here because it's a family show, and I'm going to say they were playing in front of an inept quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they were playing in front of an inept quarterback. They're playing in front of a professional now this week.
Yeah.
And I think in the locker room they're probably secretly happy about this switch, even though they found out about it on social media.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But my concern is that they ruined this kid for life without giving him a true shot. And I don't think I have two issues. Number one, they don't have a tight end.
Okay.
Tight end is the number one friend of a rookie quarterback.
Or a very old quarterback who needs to complete a 6-yard pass at the end of a playoff game. But I digress.
We have talented tight ends, just no place.
See what you done? See what you done, Ben? You just
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
thanks, man.
I'm having a hard time arguing.
You just peeled the Band-Aid off of that old wound.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting again. It's like it's the flashbacks. So continue, please.
So
the tight ends,
offensive line. Most of the time they were good. Last week they had a horrible game, and our receivers all had horrible games. Doesn't excuse Anthony Richardson's 44% completion percentage at all.
Nothing will.
No. But I don't think he got a shot. And I think but like I said, if the offensive line doesn't step up this weekend, Colts have zero shot. If they step up, I think we have a very good chance of containing your offense, or at least making it a game.
Okay.
And keeping it less than a touchdown at the end, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they are 4-4, and that's one thing that some people are not forgetting. And again, like I said, this is not that team that slept on us and lost a 33-point lead, but
but it's also not the team that built the 33-point lead. It's not the team that built 33
They're certainly not the team, right? And so either way, they're 4-4. They play well. When they play well, they play well. But when they don't,
it's ugly. It's ugly. Yeah.
And I think good for them. They learned how to win some of those ugly games. But at some point, you got to separate yourself. You got to be able to separate. Razor.
I think they have to they have to give themselves more credit for that 4-4, because 4 of those wins, unless I'm mistaken, came with Anthony Richardson, correct?
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
So you're
the
now
game Joe Flacco played, they lost.
Exactly. So 4 of those wins came with a bad quarterback. And it's the same thing I say about the Vikings now at 5-2. There are a lot of fans, arguably younger because most of the population of the planet is younger than I am, but younger than I am who haven't been through these wars who will say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." We're not going 17-0 people. Okay, we're gonna lose games. If we're gonna lose games, they're gonna fall during the season. This happens. This is the NFL. You're going to
Get them
lose
out of the way
games.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lose we our toughest games of the season were the first four, and we came out of that 4-0. Okay. You're not going to win every game, and you're going to lose games you should win. But the bottom line is if you can take Sam Darnold and beat the 49ers, beat the Houston Texans, beat the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, I don't want to hear crap about him losing to the Detroit Lions, which is a good team. It's like if you can win 4 games with Anthony Richardson, imagine an upgrade at quarterback,
By
which
the way, you see the average margin of victory
it's like
the
ours
Lions have
2 years
had
ago.
in the last 4 weeks. Last
Oh,
4 weeks,
The Lions?
the Lions,
Yeah.
and they only beat us by 2 points.
Yeah.
So
We walked out
I
of there
only
with our
hear
head held. There's no such thing as a moral victory, but we didn't walk out of there bloodied up like most, like say the Cowboys, I believe, got 42 hung on them. So
and then they just blew up. God, who they play? Who they play this past week? Tennessee.
Tennessee.
They just blew Tennessee up too. I like just they played around with them for a little bit, and then next thing you know, they're 50 points. Just it's crazy.
And I believe Jared Goff threw for under 100 yards in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it's
when
like
they beat him 52-14.
It's like a cat with a mouse. After the mouse dies, you bat him around for a little while, but then after that, you lose interest. You just lose interest. It's like okay, that's. I'm hoping.
I don't even have to throw a pass.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm hoping we do the same to Tennessee, but we'll see. So Ben, what's your prediction for a score here as we get close to the wrap? Final score.
I think we're looking at 27-21.
For whom?
Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Q, what's your score prediction?
Well, I said it's probably going to be a 10 point, so I'm thinking 27-17.
Okay. I'm going to go on the high side as I generally do. I'm going to say a ridiculous score like 31-17 Vikings.
Okay.
All right.
Now, the one thing I did want to touch on was the Christian Darrisaw injury, losing the tackle, losing a blindside tackle is again, last year it was Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins. It's like there's always going to be something. The Vikings wasted no time in saying, hey, we think we can still win. We're going to go out. We're going to get a replacement. You're not going to get a Christian Darrisaw, but you got Cam Robinson, somebody who's better than serviceable, somebody who's a professional, somebody who's been around. We expect him to play this week.
And somebody that can go to the right side next year. Somebody go to the right side next year.
He probably won't even be on this team next year, but
maybe not.
The one thing that I love about this deal is that his salary is $9 million, I think $9.6 million, and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and the Vikings staff managed to convince the Jacksonville Jaguars to pay $7 million of that.
Right.
So we've got to put $2.6 million for this year.
What kind of pick? What pick did they get?
A fourth round pick in 2026, I believe it was. Conditional. Yeah. So yeah. Well, we don't really have any, but we've got 3 picks next year. So I think
that's right.
If he works out again, major win for the Vikings. And if he doesn't work out, it doesn't really cost you anything. I know that there are some corners of the internet and football media who will go crazy if you give up 1 draft pick. But let's face it, and I'm not, as somebody who generally goes through the draft, I enjoy the draft. Q and I went to the one in Vegas. I enjoy the pageantry, the excitement, the prospect of getting an unproven guy and turning him into a football player. I think there's also a lot to be said for the mastery of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and the Viking staff in picking undrafted free agents and picking up free agents. He's built this team on players, not necessarily through the draft, but guys coming out of their first contract, guys who nobody thought about, guys like, Ivan Pace, like nobody was looking at this guy, and he's turned him. Josh Patelis. Nobody's looking at these people, and he's turned them into stars.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about giving up a fourth round because Ben, you're a big football fan. Tell me any fourth round picks the Colts have made.
Well, this year's fourth round pick is not even on the team.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's my point.
They drafted a center, Andrew Bartolini, I believe his name is. Fourth round pick. He started at center because Ryan Kelly is down.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, I got nothing.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. It's like as much hype as people give these picks, these draft picks, most of them don't pan out because law of averages. Most of these players don't pan out. I mean, they're first round picks that don't pan out. We had a draft like that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I think getting bodies on the field, if the Vikings honestly feel that they could win this year, if they feel they can win this year, and they want to keep the band together, they want not the old band, but they want to say, okay, we want to make a run for this. This is a rebuild year for us, whether they want to say it out loud or not. This is a rebuild, retool, rework, whatever. We're not tearing it down to the studs, but we're not looking for the Super Bowl this year. But we have to build. It's like we don't want to move into this house yet because it's not built yet, but we want JJ McCarthy to be able to move in soon so he can start putting up, curtains and bringing in furniture while we finish up everything. And that's where we are. We want to have a structure in place that we can pop a quarterback into because we've seen what happens when you pop a quarterback into a non-existent structure. I think the Carolina Panthers are currently talking about drafting a quarterback in next year's draft.
And that's not going to do them any. And that's not going to do them any good because they're just they're a mess. They're a dumpster fire.
Didn't they draft a quarterback in last year's draft? Yeah. If I have a stroke here, so if you draft a quarterback in the first round twice in 3 years, you're doing something really wrong. Really wrong.
That's exactly my biggest concern with benching Anthony Richardson right now. If they don't give him another shot, a true shot, we're going to be stuck in quarterback oblivion. But it's like we have been since 2018.
Or you could just sign Sam Darnold next year.
That's true. It's true. He'll be on the market, and you guys play indoors. He likes that.
That's true.
So you indoors. He's he at 5-2 now. He's showing that he can be a proven commodity. Doesn't make mistakes, but he's far from a game manager. He'll pick his feet up and run. He'll throw up. Well, and he doesn't throw his careless passes, which was the thing that he got. He might just be a perfect fit for the Colts.
He'd be a good fit for about 5 teams right now, including the Miami Dolphins. But he'll get to pick and choose where he's going, and unless something goes really wrong, he's definitely not going to be in Minnesota. What would have to go really wrong is for JJ McCarthy to physically not be able to play, or would have to go strange would have to be for Sam Darnold to say, you know what, I'm not getting the offers I want. I'll stay here in Minnesota as a backup for a year, which, stranger things have happened. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Any final thoughts? I'm going to go around the horn here and go to you, Q. Final thoughts, final comments?
Jerry Jones is crazy. That's it. I mean, but that's just a general thought. Amusing by Q. Jerry Jones is crazy. Okay. And that's all I got, man. That dude's out of his mind.
Okay. Ben?
Jaden Daniels is going to be the first player to win MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay, that's a bold prediction.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have you back on the show because it's like if you're throwing out hot takes like that,
you gotta come back.
You got just to back that up as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Well,
he is fun to watch.
I've actually seen one of his games, and yes, he's a lot better than I expected. Caleb Williams is a lot worse than I thought he was going to be, but hey, and Anthony Richardson is And to paraphrase the late great Dennis Green, he is who I thought he was. He is who I thought he was.
Hey, and yeah, go.
Yeah, but anyway, my final thought is I'm looking forward to the Sunday night game. I think we're going to bounce back in a major way, and I think this is going to be the start of a 3-game winning streak for us with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Tennessee Titans on the horizon. I should know.
Yay!
Jaguars. Yeah. So with that being said, again, great having you on, Ben. We definitely will have you again.
Absolutely.
QR code.
This was
fun. Enjoy that. It's a QR code. Again, I'm Razor.
I'm Q.
And
I'm Ben.
We'll catch you folks next time.